Welcome to Hey Sister. This is episode 51, Mental Health Day.
Hey, sister.
Hey, sister.
Join me, Courtney Lewis,
And me, Carly Ferguson,
in our conversational podcast about everyday situations.
You can count on us to tell it to you straight with our own sisterly spin.
Consider this a phone call with your own Southern sisters as we discuss with you personal accountability, healthy relationships, managing responsibilities, and contributing to society.
Each episode will consist of straight talk and a call to action.
Your sisters are calling.
Thanks for answering.
Hello, sisters. This is Courtney, and my sister Carly and I are so glad y'all are here for our straight talk and sisterly call today. We are coming up on our 1-year anniversary of the Hey Sister podcast, and we are so grateful y'all have joined us on our journey. Speaking of our podcasting journey, when we first started, Carly and I were toying around with different names before we landed on Hey Sister, and a couple names we actually considered were Sister Therapy or Sister Sessions, because many times after our phone calls, we felt an almost therapeutic peace. Other times, we probably could have used some therapy after our phone calls. But really, we know a sisterly phone call is oftentimes a great way to feel good, which is why we're loving our new fall theme, Feel Good Fall. And with today being October 10th, World Mental Health Day, it seems like a great excuse to take a mental health day and get a little sisterly therapy in. Before Carly introduces our guest expert today, I do want to remind you sisters to check out our show notes for any resources or social media links we refer to today, a minute marker timeline in case you want to re-listen to any portions, and as always, a reminder of the call to action we will issue towards the end of today's episode. Now, Carly, please tell our sisters about the fabulous expert we've got in store for them today.
Sure thing. I have not had the privilege to meet our guest today in person, but I feel like I know her because I moved to an area where she had lived, and like 2 ships in the night, we passed each other, and our mutual friends raved about her. So I followed Aubrey Grossen on Instagram, where she makes it very easy to relate to her on multiple levels, being a mom, wife, a friend, a woman today, really. Seeing her posts make me smile or feel a genuine connection. Her content focuses on belonging and finding light and living as a mom. ANYA, or A New You Again, is a movement to help mamas discover our new self postpartum and on. We are thrilled to have her on World Mental Health Day to share her light with all of you sisters. With that, Aubrey, welcome to Hey Sister.
Oh my gosh, you're so nice. That was like the best intro ever. You're so sweet. I feel like we're kindred friends too. So I love that.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I may not have the connection of having lived in the same space. However, I can say I've loved your Instagram posts and the content you have there, and I definitely do feel that sisterly bond. So we're super excited to have you join our sisterhood today, Aubrey.
Thank you.
Could you tell our sisterhood a little bit more about you?
Totally. Yeah. Thanks for that introduction. I feel like you covered the bases so well, though. I'm like, what can I add to this? So I'm a mom of 4. I've got 1 boy and 3 girls. And I feel like my passion has come from a lot of pain that I've experienced throughout life. And I've been able to turn that around into something that is so rewarding and healing for me. You mentioned ANYA, and that is the business that I founded. And it came from a space of healing through postpartum depression and my own depression and anxiety. It's become such a passion project for me. And it's a place where it's a movement where we allow healing to happen for women, not just who are going through postpartum, but in all ages. We have people, or women specifically, who are either 18 to 65. And I feel like when you become a mom and as you go through all these different changes throughout your life, you just need that extra boost to feel like a new version of you again. So many times we get in these ruts where we just need a restart. And that's what ANYA is discovering that new version of you. So it's been so healing to do. And I've loved being able to do that. It's a huge piece of my life. It's like my 5th baby, but more than anything, I hone into my own motherhood. That comes top priority. And that's where I find the most joy and happiness. And I love spending time with my husband and doing all sorts of things in that regard too. But those are like all my babies in one paragraph if we could combine it all.
Well, I love that. And I feel like there are so many reciprocal benefits because you're helping other moms find that piece of them. But it sounds like you have found this piece in being a mom that has allowed you to help others find that piece. It's a really symbiotic type of relationship. That's super cool. with that, as we're talking about feeling good this fall, as a mom and an advocate for mental health, what does that mean to you?
It's been interesting because with my first, I really struggled with my mental health, so much so that I just needed help and I didn't know how to get it. I was having suicidal ideation and it was terrifying. And I think so often women feel a certain way and they don't know how to describe it. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know what to really do to help themselves. If they go to the doctor, they just get put on meds. There's options out there that so many people don't know about. And I think throughout this journey, I've been able to discover what those are. And within our program, we have this acronym and it's MOMMY, MOMMY. And each letter stands for something to do that helps with your mental health. So the first is meet with God. Every single day, you meet with God, connect with Him. O stands for opportunity of growth. Whatever you're going through, whatever hard thing you're facing, how can you turn that into an opportunity of growth? Or what book can you read? Or what therapist or what podcast can you listen to have the opportunity of growth? The next M is for movement. Move your body. There is so much power in moving your body. The next M is finding that moment of stillness. I think as women and moms, our brains are going a million miles an hour and we're distracted everywhere we turn. And I think having that moment of stillness allows us to come into the present moment. I feel like when you're thinking too fast, you get anxious, and when you think too slow, you're depressed. So if we can come to the very present moment, it allows us to be here in the now and not allow anxiety or depression to rule our lives. And then Y stands for yourself. Taking that time, it's not in a selfish way. I know that we have a lot of me-focused culture right now, but when you can figure out different things that help in taking care of your own self, for instance, I used to always just forget to eat because I was feeding kids and I was running around and I would just forget to eat. And part of my mental health journey, I had lost so much weight and I was so sick because of that. And I was spiraling to where it was dangerous and I was losing weight in a dangerous way. And so now I eat dinner and I eat lunch. I eat every meal before my kids. And so that's something that I've done as I've practiced this yourself. Part of the acronym is to just find different things that are not selfishly helping myself, but in turn, by helping myself, I'm helping everybody around me. In our program, we focus in on those 5 things. And I think those are the things for me that truly help navigate and help with my own mental health. And I use those as non-negotiables. Those are every day, every single day. Those 5 things have been life-changing for me.
That acronym, to put it to mommy, I love the order that you have it in too. Talk about priorities. That is so touching. And just the way you described that really makes me think, am I doing each of those things every day? And I appreciate too that you mentioned that position that we're put in as moms sometimes too, of the letter Y, when you talked about where you want to be, that you want to take care of yourself. And that is an internal need that you have to prioritize yourself, your health. But there is this opposite side where the world is really pushing the whole, you do you first.
Yes.
And it feels so all about you. And that train of thought often feeds more to a spiral of, well, I see other people are doing this and I don't take enough time for me. And so it makes you want to keep up with the Joneses because you think you're not doing enough for yourself, when in reality, you're looking outward and you're not looking inward. Mm-hmm. So I love that insight that you should be looking inward for what feeds you so that you can help others, not so that you can keep up with others.
Yeah. So profound in the simpleness, I feel like. And then the second M, or I guess the third M technically, of a moment. And I just love how you said when we're thinking too fast, it can be anxiousness, and then thinking too slow is depression. Is that how you said it?
Yeah.
That's like a good way to think about it in a way. There's probably lots of definitions that are thrown in the mix, but we're put in this position as moms where we're like balancing a lot of things, and just trying to find the right pace is difficult because our littles are on their own rapid speed, and it's easy to feel that same urgency, and it doesn't need to be that way. And I've done that before. I forget to eat and I get hangry and it comes out at my husband or something, and he's like, have you eaten? These are simple things. And doing that for yourself so that you're a better mommy, it goes back and it feels yourself better than just being like, I'm going to go and just hop in the bathtub forever.
Right.
We can't be in the bathtub forever.
Yes. And self-care is not about just eating chocolates and having a bath. I get excited about it because literally self-care could be just taking your vitamins today. For brand new moms, I always say, I know you're not getting sleep and I know you need sleep, but focus on the things you can do. You can eat a healthy breakfast. You can go take your vitamins. You can go outside for a walk. Focus on the things that you can do for yourself, even if you feel limited in other ways.
Yeah. I know my husband, when I first had Brush, he would always, Brush is my first. So my husband would ask in the morning, how'd you sleep? That question was banned because I was like, you don't even know? You were right next to me. How do you not know this? And so it was kind of a joke, but at the time I was like, no, I can't sleep. And he was like, I hope you sleep well tonight. And like,
yeah,
don't even say such things. It's hard sometimes for other people maybe to understand that feeling of, it's out of my reach. I can't always control everything. And so I am trying to avoid expectations that are like disappointing.
Yeah.
And so it's that, okay, but what can I do? And it helps on like the first, any child really, because adding another to the mix is a whole new thing. But for your first, I was like, what is this? What am I doing? It's like
For sure.
the slowest form of school.
Yeah. And I think too, we get to this point where I have to think of it like needs versus wants. If my baby is needing breakfast, but I want to stay in bed, I need to get out to do the need. But if I'm needing a shower and my kid wants to play Play-Doh with me, a shower wins. Focus on needs and showers, not just for your kids, but for yourself of like, okay, I actually do need this. And so I'm going to make it happen, even though my kid wants to go for a bike ride or whatever. Hone in on, okay, what's actually the need here? Is it something that he's needing or is it something that I need? And then allow that to be the priority and allow that to be the big thing that comes first.
And it kind of helps later too. Like a need is going to the bathroom, right? I will wait because of the kids and it's just not a good time to go to the bathroom. So I'm holding it as long as possible until I find a good, convenient time to use the restroom. And my husband is like, hey, peace, I have to go use the restroom. And I'm like, this isn't a good time. Like,
who said you could do that?
Who said you could do that? Who didn't take the bathroom pass? But like, it's a need that should be how we treat ourselves.
Totally. Yeah,
like now I'm like
sure.
pointing at him like, oh, why aren't you doing this? But I could do that for myself. And maybe I need to learn from that. Yeah, I could use the restroom.
I have two thoughts in hearing y'all say these things. So first of all, I've never forgotten to eat once in my whole life. So I'm very much finding that very intriguing. I'm like, really? People forget to eat? I just find that very mind-blowing. And man, that is definitely crucial. You two take care of that. I have lots of things on that mommy list that I do forget, but feeding myself, that has never been my struggle. The second thing that's coming to my mind as we're talking about sleep. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but one of my favorite comedic sketches, and I'll include it in the show notes, is Michael McIntyre, and he's a British comedian. And he has this sketch where he talks about how him and his wife, when they go to bed at night, they used to say to each other, oh, have a good sleep. Then they have children and it becomes good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah. Just say that to each other. And I'm sure I'm butchering it, but there's a whole sketch about the way your life changes once you become a parent. And it's so funny. But the good luck, that when my husband and I saw that, for months after that, we would look at each other at bed and say, good luck. And so it just makes me laugh. I think about that with sleep oftentimes. Aubrey, I love the MOMMY acronym you gave us. I'm curious if there are any other steps that you can think of to share with us that we can take to improve our mental health this fall.
Yes. So I love when we are deciding on the acronyms, those are things I just have become habit for me. But I think if I were to add one other one, it would be another O, and it would be to get outside every single day. I don't care if it's snowing where you live. I don't care if it's hot as blazes where you live. I need you to get outside because there's something about just allowing your body to be, even that morning sun helps chemically in your body. Get outside. Something I love doing I try to do every single day is try to catch the sunrise and the sunset. And if I can go outside and do it, it's even better. But that has been something that's been so healing. It allows me to just pause either before the day or as the day is ending. And even if we're in the rush of dinner or craziness, I will literally just leave my family and go outside and just take 30 seconds by myself, put my hands on my heart and have just a moment of gratitude and being outside, feeling that love that's so much greater than what our minds are focused in on our daily basis. So that's been a huge one for me.
What a great perspective shift too, because that is a recurring thing that we can depend on, but we don't think about and we don't appreciate.
Yeah. And how often do we miss it?
Yeah. I don't think I ever hardly get up to look at most of the time. I'm like, oh, good, the sun's setting. So my kids know that it's bedtime.
Can go to bed.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it for them. I'm thinking about like, oh, well, we can't continue on our projects the way we were because light's gone. I'm thinking of it as like a deficit. Oh, darn, this is going down. Or in the morning, it's like, here we go, ramping up. But yeah, it's a different shift to think about it in that way. I love that.
I also really appreciate that you're saying that you take 30 seconds to that, because I think for a lot of people, they might think, oh, I can't take time for myself in the middle of making dinner or in the middle of eating dinner or in the middle of cleaning up dinner. That would seem so selfish if I walk out and leave my husband or children to do the dishes, to clean up, whatever the situation may be. But you're talking about 30 seconds. Like literally that's less time than it would take to use the bathroom, which apparently is also another need we should be taking care of ourselves for. When you don't try and hold it until you're crisscrossing your legs. But I just really appreciate that reality check of it doesn't have to be some big ordeal of taking a bath and indulging in chocolates. Like you said, it can be 30 seconds to go look at the sunset. And I also really like how you said you touch your heart. It really helps you absorb those senses and come into yourself. That's a really beautiful graphic in my mind of something that I could do that would be small and doable. I love it.
And your body, you can reset. So something that a lot of people with mental health issues or problems have is rage or anger, which are actually two separate things. But if you're feeling that need to reset, go outside and stand in the grass with your bare feet. 7 deep breaths can reset your entire system. It can take just as little as 7 deep breaths. So 30 seconds, 7 breaths, whatever it is that you can hone in on, it can change the game for your entire day. It's just the decision to do it. It's not hard, right? We can all go watch the sunset or breathe 7 times, but it's just a decision to go out and do it. And you'll notice a difference if you do.
Wow.
I love that. So, we've said 30 seconds. You've kind of prescribed an amount of time and 7 deep breaths. This is probably founded in the research and understanding of how to reset. But do you feel like having a number associated with things helps make it more realistic? Or like, is there a tendency as moms sometimes to overdraw how big something is and not do it because we mentally make it seem a lot harder? So is that something that you try to do in order to like make it seem practical or applicable?
I think there's 2 parts, if I'm understanding your question right. And I think part of it is truly you are resetting your system. There's so much happening at a cellular level. So scientifically, you are resetting yourself. You are physically removing yourself. If you even, like both of you right now, if you're just to sit up and change your position, or if I were to turn on a song and we just had a dance party right here, right now, it would change your energy. It would change your state. It would change at a cellular level. It would change that deep within your body of what's happening. And so that's why movement is on my list, because that is like a huge change in your body for an hour a day. That's amazing. So anytime you have a negative thought and you just shift your body to change that, it shifts. And so not only is it a number for you to remember to do, but it really does switch things within your body. And then there's breath work and different things like that has like the 4 count or the breathe in twice. And there's different things that you can do. But I think it comes down to keeping it simple so that you can just be like, okay, this doesn't have to be a lot. I don't have to add this to my to-dos. It's just something that I can do for myself and it's doable, right? Like moms are busy. We have so much stuff to do throughout the day. Why not just think of something that we can do? And I feel like 30 seconds is something that everybody can do. So I think there's a mix of both, but for sure.
I love it.
I love everything you're saying. Listening to you talk about this has given me some new ideas and new things to try. I love the idea of sunset, sunrise. Well, probably more sunset than sunrise.
Sunrise, sunset. Sorry.
Very nice. Name that musical.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Very good. Okay. Just making sure. Sometimes I have a song stuck in my head. I don't know where it comes from, so I'm proud of it. But sunrises happen super early in Arizona, like without daylight savings time, it's 4:30 sometimes. And that sun comes blaring in and you're like, No, I need more blackout curtains. I need 3 layers of blackout curtains.
Sanderson sisters.
That's a good Hocus Pocus reference. Yay. But what I will say is I have a friend who's also taught me that changing your shoulders, changing something about movement helps. And she challenged me like years ago that when I'm driving in the car to work on my posture in the car, because oftentimes I'm driving 10 and 2 and I feel myself getting stressed and suddenly my shoulders are up by my ears. And so I just try and relax my shoulders. And I try and dig my shoulder blades back into my back pockets, which is how our mom always taught us posture growing up. Dig those shoulder blades into the back pockets. Like Carly's like, I don't remember that.
I didn't get that lesson. I needed it.
Yeah, I guess that's why my posture is slightly better than yours.
Oh, I know. Well, now I'm learning it in ballroom dance, but now it's got more of a flair.
Yes. Well, anyway, I find that it's different though, because I will literally feel like you're saying that cellular level that things change. Because I feel like when I relax my shoulders and then I pull them back so that my shoulder blades are digging deeper into my back, I can actually feel things. It almost feels like click, 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 like things fall into alignment. And you can feel the freshness, blood circulating through your body. And it's amazing. Whenever I do that consciously, when I'm driving my car, I feel it. And I actually try and make my shoulder blades touch against the seat behind me, try and really keep my posture upright in my seat while elongating my neck. And so I find that really helpful. What is your favorite style of movement, Aubrey? What do you like to do most?
Oh man, I like, well, dancing. If we were to just like to name it right off, I love just dancing with my kids in the living room. That's my favorite. And right now I'm working out at F45 and I've loved weightlifting and stuff, but I think so often we think we have to have it look a certain way. And there were times where either I've been sick or just had surgery or depressed or whatever. And all I could do was just raise my hands up and down. And if that's all you can do, it still counts. It's movement. So for me, I think mine is dancing with my kids because that brings me the most joy, but allow yourself to like be creative with it. It doesn't have to be go to the gym every day. It could be walking. I love meditative walks where I spend time with God and go on a walk by myself. And it's just so peaceful early in the morning and it's beautiful. And I love that. I think when you were talking about sunrises, I used to think the same way my entire life. And I've been able to retrain my brain to enjoy mornings. And it truly has been one of the biggest, I think, transformation changes within my mental health. And I think it's because I allow myself to get ahead of my day and allow myself to connect with God that early in the morning that it changes the entire day for me. So now I like crave early mornings. I don't know about 4:30, but I crave getting up before my kids and allowing that time to just be peaceful and to be ahead of the day rather than having the day own me and feeling like a slave to the day. Instead, I can be in control of what happens. It always starts with that. And it's been awesome.
I love that. I need to get into that. That is probably my next thing for myself.
Carly, when we grow up, we'll wake up early.
I need to be a morning person.
Let's do it.
Or like at least enjoy the morning because I am not a good morning person. And there was a time where I was motivated to be a good morning person, but it was not the right time. I had a newborn infant and I was craving some consistency. And I wanted to get up at 5 a.m. and do my miracle morning and do all of these things. And I tried it the first day and it felt like, well, how does this work with nursing and then doing this? And like, it just didn't fit. And somewhere I read, and maybe it was seeing something on your account, but it was, you need to pace it at the right time too. Why are you doing that to yourself? Like, yeah. I didn't need to be doing it at that time. And so I put it off. But now my kids, for the most part, sleep through the night. So I'm like, okay, that means, now I need to like get up and be up and preparing myself before they get up for myself too, to feel that inspiration that you share.
Well, and I'm not like this go-getter, like wake up early. No, I used to sleep in till the very last minute, but now I have trained my brain to crave waking up. So I wake up without an alarm and then I crave that time. It's more of a selfish thing rather than I'm this go-getter, wake up early. No, I've never been that way. It's more of like, okay, I'm going to miss out if I sleep till my kids wake up. I crave that.
I love that. And to that feel good fall feeling, if you're craving good things, that makes you feel good. So the steps and the acronyms that you've shared are so impactful because it trains our brains to crave those good things. And I love that. So Aubrey, you've shared so many wonderful things with us. Is there anything else that you want to add
No, I just have loved being with you guys, and I love your mission and just your stories and just being able to have that connection with each other and then connecting with other women, I think is so powerful because I think we all need each other. There's a huge piece with that. And I love when you're talking about the different names for your podcast, like sister sessions or sister therapy. I love that because I think so much of that is needed, and being able to laugh and cry in the same conversation. That's what it's all about. And I think people finding you, this is amazing. So props to you guys.
Well, props to you for joining us today. And we haven't even really talked that much about the awesome extra step that you gave us for this fall, which I think is perfect timing. When Carly's talking about a season of her life that it was difficult to wake up in the morning, things come in seasons of life, and there is a season to a year. And I love that you said right now, the step for our sisters for Feel Good Fall to feel good is to spend time outside. Fall is one of the best times to spend time outside. It's not blazing hot in the summer, and it's not winter snow. This is such a nice time to get out there, spend that 30 seconds, enjoy that sunset, spend some time, go for a walk, get outside, go to a park with some friends, like you're talking about, spending time with your sisterhood of friends around you, and enjoy that time with others and grow with them. Speaking of spending time with our sisters, what call to action do you have for our sisters today, Aubrey?
Yes, I think doing all of that, but my thing is to create that community within yourself and within your area where you live. Find people that help you. Come join ANYA. Come be a part of our community. I have a free month I'll give you guys, and I'll leave a link in your show notes, but don't suffer alone. There's no point in that. Find some help. There's so much you can do to feel good. There's so much you can do to have that happiness and joy. And sometimes it just takes looking a little bit different. It's not necessarily working harder for it. It's just looking and thinking differently about it. And I love that you guys are doing this. I think it's awesome. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It builds just that feeling of community. I mean, listening to you, it's so inspirational and makes us want to turn and be real, be authentic, be genuine with our friends around us, and know that we're all becoming that new, better version of ourselves. And it takes time and seasons. So I'm really excited to apply those things that you've shared today.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
So we've had such a pleasure speaking with you today. Where can our sisters find you so they can continue this conversation?
My website is aubreygrossen.com. So AubreyGrossen.com. And then my Instagram's the same. So just at Aubrey Grossen. And I'm mostly over there for right now. That's where you can reach out to me. And then the ANYA account is just at A New You again. It's easy to remember with ANYA.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I believe over at A New You again, you do within your membership breathwork on Mondays with everybody who's part of your community. Is that correct?
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah. So every Monday we'll do breathwork meditation. They get a coaching call on Tuesday. They get a movement class Wednesday. They get a connection night Thursday and a yourself call Friday. So it's actually the mommies. So MOMMY for each day too. So we've incorporated that into it.
That's so fun.
That is so special. What a cool community that sounds like. I love learning about it. So sisters, be sure to check in the show notes to get the links to Aubrey's website and her social media. And you can check out the ANYA membership that she's referenced today as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Aubrey. It really, truly has been such a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Sisters, we hope y'all have enjoyed our call today with Aubrey as much as we have. We are so grateful for the time we get to spend with y'all each week, and we love connecting with you on social media too. Please follow us on Instagram at the Hey Sister Podcast and connect with us as we continue conversations online about today's episode. Don't forget to apply this week's call to action and connect with a local community in your area, or look into Aubrey's A New You Again group online. Please come back and join us next week as we continue this Feel Good Fall series with an episode devoted to making your home feel cozy this fall. Come back and join us, sisters, and have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. I've been loving hearing you guys talk because I've missed my Texas accents. Like when you guys are saying y'all, and it like is so endearing. I've just loved it.
I feel like people comment on like a Texas accent. It makes me feel like, I don't have an accent.
Oh, when we did the first couple of recordings,
yes,
I could not shake an accent. I sounded like Sweet Home Alabama.
She did.
I was like, I'm so sorry, Courtney. I don't know what's happening.
We had to retake.